Hey guys, and I guess welcome to my crib. Making this video from home since this is currently where I'm at due to quarantine. What a better time to start the unit on pathogens when everything around us is a little crazy, and this is kind of the life y'all are living right now. So I really hope this unit is something that you can connect to in light of just current circumstances with the coronavirus. So let's start off for our unit on pathogens or diseases and immunity. So for this unit, we're going to be in this for about a week. It's a short unit, and I think it's fairly interesting just obviously because of what's going on around us. Now, a pathogen is a disease-causing organism. They are passed from one host to another, and they cause diseases that are known as transmissible diseases. So these are things that can spread from one individual to another. So it's something you can catch, okay? Now, they can be passed in different ways. There is something called direct contact and indirect contact. And every disease is kind of specific to the way that it transmits itself. So when we look at direct contact, this is when a pathogen or a disease is passed directly from one host to another by either bodily fluids such as blood or semen or some sort of touch. So think of fungal diseases, things like athlete's foot or ringworm, where if you were to touch a person or a person's belongings that had those fungal infections, it can be directly transmitted to you. And then we need to look at things like HIV, gonorrhea, hepatitis B and C. You can see HIV and gonorrhea being sexually transmitted very easily, as well as some forms of hepatitis. But more so, when you think of direct contact, there's some physical direct contact that you are coming into that contact with a person to receive that disease from the host that it is manifest in. Okay, second form is indirect contact. This is when the pathogen leaves the host, but it's carried in some way or another to an unaffected individual. And this is the most common form of contact that we have with diseases around us, specifically right now with what we're dealing with the coronavirus. So let's look at some methods of transmission in this table here that's going to be really helpful for you. So droplets in the air. Think about you sneezing into the air and you're putting droplets of, let's say, the flu virus, the coronavirus, really any virus that you might have that can be transmissible in droplets in the air. So the cold, influenza would be on this list. As far as we know with current research, this is how the coronavirus also is transmitted as well. In food or water. So diseases can be transmissible through food or water. This is where we have cholera, like we looked at in Unit 7, typhoid, and then dysentery. Touching contaminated surfaces. So this would be that direct contact, like athlete's foot, picking up salmonella. There's an important note that a fly can land on something with salmonella, then land on your food, and then you ingest it, and that's how you can contract that disease. And then, of course, insect bites. We can't forget about that. This is how malaria and the dengue fever are transmitted. Not incredibly common here in America, but if you go anywhere where malaria is common, I'm thinking of many African countries as well as Haiti, South American countries, malaria is a little bit more common, specifically the warmer countries closer to the equator as well. Let's keep on moving because we need to talk about the defenses against pathogens. Our defenses, we look at three main methods of defense. One is mechanical barriers. So this would be structures that make it difficult for pathogens to get past them and into the body. Your skin is a mechanical barrier, covers almost every part of your body to prevent infections from pathogens. You can be cut, and obviously if your body works the way it should, you should form a scab there to continue protecting you. So skin is incredibly important to protect us from all the things that are around us. Even hairs in your nose, and if you really think about it, you have hairs around every orifice of your body. And these make it really difficult for pathogens to get past them and into your body. Specifically, if we're looking at your nose, as you inhale air, those hairs are going to be trapping anything that or is in the particles of the air coming into your body. Also, chemical barriers. Chemical barriers are substances produced by the body cells that trap and kill pathogens before they can get any further into the body to kill disease. Specifically, mucus, which is really important. If you've ever seen the Princess and the Frog with Princess Tiana, it's not slime, it's mucus. I love that line. I'm a parent of young children, so you probably could pick that up. Mucus is made in various places throughout your body, but the mucus can trap any type of pathogen that's coming in and then be removed by the body from coughing, blowing the nose, even swallowing to get it to what leads into what we have next, the stomach acid. Stomach acid, which you should know from our Unit 7, contains hydrochloric acid, which is strong enough to kill most pathogens that are caught by the mucus in the airways and swallowed or consumed with food or water. Now, we know this is not true of everything because some of us have all unfortunately suffered from some sort of norovirus or a stomach bug virus that makes us very, very ill. But stomach acid is a very important line of defense to kill any pathogen that's entered our body. And then finally, we have certain cells in our body that are incredibly important. They come from the team of the white blood cells that work to prevent pathogens reaching different areas of the body, so they can't replicate in your bodily systems. There are two important aspects of white blood cells. Phagocytosis is where a white blood cell will completely engulf and digest pathogenic cells, and they do this through lysosomes that secrete certain enzymes that can ultimately destroy those cells. And then we can produce something called antibodies. Antibodies clump pathogenic cells together so they can't move as easily. We call this agglutination. And then those release chemicals that signal the other cells that they must be destroyed. So that's where there can be a full-on attack to get rid of the pathogenic cells that have entered your body. Okay, that wraps it up for today. Go ahead, move on over to your CFU, and then all your day's activities. Good job, guys.